find all these materials in our website if you want an elaboration of these topics. The first topic you should always tackle when you give any seminar or advocacy or talk on this gender in climate change is why gender. Okay, and this paper I distributed talks about that. By the way, I practically lifted this from the UNIFEM website that talks about facts and figures on climate change. But if you will open the manual, we have our own PowerPoint presentation, very well made, together with pictures and complete with PowerPoints that you can already use to justify why gender should be in the topic of climate change. After talking about gender, you then divide the topics to mitigation and adaptation, which is really how do you adapt and what kind of mitigation processes should be used, and they are all gendered. They all talk about how gender gets into those topics. And it talks about technology, which was elaborated on a lot by our previous speakers on green technology and simple technologies that women could contribute to help, no? And it talks about finance, okay? The reason why we talk about finance in that manual is because there are a lot of funds that have been created by the UNFCCC that we should lobby, that women should lobby so that our projects could be funded. You know, our efforts in promoting gender in climate change could be funded using those various funds enumerated in the manual as they will be shared with you. So the format of the training is really very simple. You can invite a group of 20 or 50 people, and then you can divide them into 4: gender, technology, mitigation, adaptation, and finance, and they can move around like that using the manual. By the end of even just a half day, they would have gone through the circle of understanding the 4 topics on a cursory level or on an introductory level, so that from there they can develop projects or you know, anything that they'd like to elaborate on. If your organization is more into technology, then you can elaborate more on technology. So let's congratulate the group that made or produced this manual, and we are happy to share it with you. We are authorized to share it with you, as you are authorized after you have received it, to share it with as many groups as you would like. This Manila Declaration that we shared with you is the first declaration on gender and climate change that was produced during that Congress. I think if you look through this material, I've been looking at it after so many, months of studying the topic. I think it's a very well-made material. And if you look at the people who put it together, it's who's who in climate change and gender. So you can imagine how rich the background is and the material they brought into this document. And it's a very well summarized and abstract material that you yourselves could use. So that's what I have to share with you today. CAPWIP this year will hold another Congress, not in climate change, but on maternal mortality, a gender issue. Maternal and infant mortality, a gender issue. Maybe this is also another topic that you would like to look into. The MDG, the Millennium Development Group, has already said that there's one Millennium Development Goal that may not be fulfilled. And guess what? It's again about us women. It's the maternal mortality, MDG 4 and 5, which has to do with maternal mortality and infant mortality. But going back to climate change, if I may share with you, and I know you come from varied groups, I think we all should take it on as a topic, because whether we are in law or whether we're in justice or in health, climate change can wipe all of this out easily, very easily, if we don't do our share. And this is Asia Pacific. We emit 3% of the carbon that that's being discussed here, 70% is emitted, of course, by the developed countries. That's why we're happy that Korea is taking the lead. Korea is one of the developed countries in our region, and we are also happy that the Congress also helped them in this way. So we invite all of you to look at this topic. I remember that during the Mount Pinatubo crisis, the eruption of the volcano in the Philippines, Gordon, his name is Gordon, he's a senator, he's now running for president. He was a Red Cross governor at that time. And when all the mayors were running away, couldn't say anything, he went on radio in his town and said, "Go up to your roofs and sweep your roofs." Now sweep, sweep. Do nothing but sweep. Don't be afraid, just sweep your roofs. He